What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 55 of Think Twice, the Magic and Pop Culture Show, hosted by me, Justin Parnell, and my co-host, Ali Antrazi.
What's up, Justin?
Fun fact, 55 is my least favorite number.
Why?
Because I'm not good at writing fives.
Because it's 2 5s back to back.
It's 2 5s, and I don't, and 5 I don't like. 5 is an inconvenient number in life. Commander pods should be under 5 people. People in cars should not be 5. You only have 4 fingers on your hand, not 5, because the thumb tries to be a finger, but it's really a thumb. So 5 is just like my least favorite number, so it's 2 5s.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try to overcome. I'm gonna try to overcome and make
What
this
about
episode
what about
great.
555?
No, that's even worse. I can't. I can't even fathom how much I would hate that.
Well, Aiden, my son, also doesn't like 5s because he confuses them with S sometimes.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
But he's also 5.
He's also 5.
Yeah, he's 5 right now. So
He is 5.
what a hard life. Got to be 5.
I know. You gotta wake up, and you got to
Put your pants
Clothes
on 2 legs at a time, then 1 leg at a time, then 2 legs, and then the other leg.
yeah, and then go play, probably nap, eat, poop.
Oh, God, it's
Play.
so rough. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it.
The hardest part is going to sleep, because they try to sleep, and they're like, I don't want to go to sleep. And it's like, that's the hardest part of their life, going to sleep.
Yeah, you got to. Sometimes you got to knock them out. Make them go to sleep. Put them in a sleeper hold. Yeah, whatever it takes. Anyway, so another fun fact. I am currently in my hotel room at Gen Con in Indianapolis.
Woo! I guess.
That was that was the saddest
Yeah,
woo
but
I've ever heard in my life.
You know how I feel about Gen Con.
I know. But we'll talk about how we feel about Gen Con in our third segment, because that's what we're going to be talking about. But in case there's any technical difficulties or any auditory difficulties, I'm blaming it on the fact that I'm out of my element. So really, if you hear anything that sounds funny or if the audio doesn't sound good, it's Director Chase's fault.
It wasn't you.
No, it's not me. I'm doing the best that I can.
They caught you on the counter, but it wasn't you.
I hate that song. So bad. All right, so what about you? I've been in Indianapolis for the last 5 days. 6, I don't even know, since last Friday.
Last weekend, I went to PPTQ, played Modern. I wanted to play Tron, but I didn't have all the pieces. So I ended up playing Blue-White Control. Blue-White Miracles. It was Miracles. And got in top 4. I lost to Burn. And the finals was Burn versus Tron, and Burn won.
Yeah. Burn.
The deck felt alright, but I think it's overall probably a little worse than Jeskai right now.
You said something. You said something really important about the deck.
What did I say?
You said that you had to work really hard for your wins.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did. I don't mind that too much, but it's the fact that I'm working hard and then losing sucks.
Yeah.
When someone can just go Tron or spit out their hand. And this deck can get shut out much easier against humans with Meddling Mage, because they can name Terminus Path and you're kind of out. Yeah.
You have a Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, or Wrath of God or whatever have you, or a Sphere. But yeah, it's still kind of rough. I feel like Blue White is better against Hollow One, Tron, and Scapeshift, but Jeskai is better against a lot of things. Burn can't beat a Lightning Helix or 2 Lightning Helixes. And
they can beat 1,
Miracles,
but they really can't beat 2.
Yeah, and Miracles doesn't have that. Miracles has 4 Path, and that's it. Where Jeskai has Bolt, Lightning Helix, and Path. A lot of removal for their creatures.
Yeah, and oftentimes in Jeskai, Lightning Helix kills a creature, so it's really gain 5 life.
Yeah, it's a pretty big beating.
So okay, so where are you in Modern now?
I want to play Tron, but I still don't own all the cards. So I'll probably play Jeskai this weekend. But I want to play Big Boy Jeskai.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, we're playing Torrential Gearhulks and Glimmer Genius. Glimmer of Genius.
So you want to play standard Jeskai with some modern cards.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So your tech for
your
tech for Jeskai is to play standard cards instead of modern legal cards.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right.
I do one card that did impress me. That I think people aren't playing that much right now is Peak. I think Peak's actually a really good card for the control decks, especially the Miracle, especially Blue Miracles.
I think it's better than Opt.
It depends. Opt lets you dig a little deeper for the Dream of Instant Speed Terminus, like one card deeper. But then also the information from Peak is huge.
Yeah. I mean, do you think? Okay, well, which one do you think is better in that deck?
In Miracles?
Yeah.
I'd play a mixture. I think Opt is better still, just because you're playing 4 Terminus and you really want to do that Terminus in combat trick. But yeah.
Okay.
I'd do some kind of split. Probably like 3 Opt, 2 Visions, and 2 Peaks.
Interesting. I generally don't like playing those like Xerox decks in Modern.
What do you mean by Xerox?
Where you just play a bunch of 1-mana cantrips.
Oh, okay.
That's what that strategy has been called historically.
Oh, it's really good. It's really good for after your sideboard though. It's easy to find not easy, but easier to find your
one-ofs.
Your sideboard cards.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay.
But I'll see what you're saying, because sometimes you can just dirtle around and just cantrip, then die.
Sometimes you play 4 preordains, or 3 preordains, 3 brainstorms, and a ponder.
Yeah.
And each die.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
It does happen.
It does happen.
So we had a question of the week last week. Very familiar.
Yep.
Very familiar with it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not trying to rub.
Which Elder Dragon makes the best commander?
Yeah, I'm not trying to rub it in your face, but
Arcades or Evictus.
But Vevictus, aka Bayvictus, got 54% of the vote to 38% of the vote for Arcades. So people know.
Yeah.
People know what's
that
up.
makes sense though. I actually can understand that. I mean, Arcade is like a one trick pony.
It's a good trick, but it is one trick.
Yeah, and Evictus, whatever you want to call him.
Bayvictus.
He's pretty cool to build around. Bayvictus.
Anyway, honestly, when you think about it, 38% of people voted for playing with walls versus virtually every other strategy you could be doing in Junk Colors. So that's a really high concentration of people that just want to play walls, because that's all you're doing. You're not playing like another deck when you're playing Arcades. So
you're playing Defenders, yeah. Defender.deck. Some Rolling Stones in there, some Assault Formations.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't think Rolling Stones is very good.
You probably still play it though, right?
Why? What does it do?
Because it lets your defenders attack.
Well, like what? Give me a in-game scenario where Rolling Stones would be good.
Like when you have Wall of Denial.
So you attack.
A couple more walls.
So you attack for 0.
Oh crap! That one doesn't switch power and toughness.
No, it does not. It just says walls you control may attack as though they didn't have defender.
Okay, well then Assault Formation. That's it.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make.
No, man.
The Rolling Stones just doesn't do anything.
All right. That's fair.
I know.
Maybe just pump all your walls.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you could make Rolling Stones good, but I think it's more work than it's worth.
Yeah. Too bad you could play Dorn and
You can no. Maybe one day there'll be everything but red. But then without red, you lose one of the best walls.
What?
Vent Sentinel.
Which one?
Vent Sentinel.
Okay, I don't know what that does.
You gotta look that one up. That's right. Go ahead and look it up. See, you're the one voting for the walls, and I'm the one with all the walls knowledge about Rolling Stones and Vent Sentinel.
I know the Vent walls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, learn you some Vent Sentinel.
Okay. Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
There's another one that just taps and does the same thing.
For a Vent Sentinel? No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Because there's a green one that taps for mana for each wall.
There's 2.
There's not a. There's not a. There's not a.
There's Axebane Guardian, which makes any color, and then there's Overgrown Battlement, which makes green. See, I know my walls.
Right, but isn't there a green one, a red one that just like taps and pings people?
That's Vince.
Anyways,
yeah. Here, why don't you? Here, I'm gonna let you. Why don't you just?
I'm off it.
Think about it, and you learn more about some walls, and then we can have this conversation as peers.
All right.
Instead of me educating you.
Okay.
All right. Before we get to our first topic today, I want to thank everyone who is listening, and of course, our platforms: SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and now Google Play Music. If you are listening on one of those platforms and you wish you could be listening on a different platform, like something that we don't know about, I can't even give an example because I don't know it exists. But if there's another platform that you wish you could be listening to and you're not, let us know what it is, because that's how we got on Stitcher. That's how we got on Google Play Music. Let us know what platform you would like to listen to. And
yeah, holla at your boys.
Yeah, holla at your boys. All you boys. All the hollas. And if you have a spare 13 and a half seconds, leave us a short review. Or just click a little 5-star rating on one of those.
That's fine too.
Yeah. If you don't have time to leave a review, just leave us a 5-star rating. Only if you enjoyed the podcast. If you love it, leave a 5-star review. If you like it, also leave a 5-star. If you only kind of like it, then I would also leave a 5-star review. If you don't like it, what are you doing? Why are you here? Why have you come back? But if you do, then please leave us a 5-star review. So we have a very important topic to talk about. For me, anyway. And I'm sure for most of our listeners. So we are going to take a short break. And when we return, we're going to delve deep into Commander 2018. So, Ollie, the Commander 2018 product does not technically come out until next Friday. Technically. However, we do know all of the cards in them.
Every single one.
Every single last card. So, there's, I guess, 2 ways I want to look at this. I want to talk about a bunch of the new cards, but I kind of first, before we get to that, I want to talk about Commander in general and kind of what this set means for Commander, or honestly, like, you know, for those of you that follow me on Twitter, at JParnell1, in case you're interested in doing so, I was talking about how I think that 2018 is the best year in the history of Magic for this format. You have Dominaria, which is arguably the best set ever printed, like, you know, regular expansion ever printed for Commander. You have a booster pack product that was essentially designed for that format in Battle Bond. I'm not even mentioning Rivals of Ixalan, which included a lot of stuff. The City's Blessing is an excellent mechanic for Commander because it's something really easy to get. You have a lot of excellent reprints among all of those sets, including Core Set, where you just got stuff like Crucible of Worlds, Scape Shift, Omniscience, and then you got the actual Elder Dragons, new versions of the Elder Dragons that we were talking about last week, and I can promise you that those cards exist because Commander exists, not because they were jonesing to get 3-color mythic rare Elder Dragons back into Standard, you know?
Yeah.
So at the end of all that, of course, we'll have Guilds of Ravnica, but before we get there, we have Commander 2018. And go ahead.
We should talk about, for this entire section, we're going to talk about Erixmithy's Slumbering Isle.
Yeah, that was our Commander Versus preview card.
It wasn't my preview card, but I'm just telling you that we should. Guys, if you guys are ready to talk about this card, this is the only thing we're going to talk about.
The whole time, it's the only thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Man, that's okay.
I'm ready.
I already did this one time, so let me dredge up all the other stuff I talked about. No, there's a lot. There's a lot going on in.
Do you know the lore behind this card?
Mm-hmm. I do now.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I've had some extra time to. I've had a few extra weeks to marinate on it than just about everybody else. So.
All right, tell me what's the lore.
So this is an island on Theros, but it's not actually an island. It's a kraken that was slumbering in the sea, and this was a legendary kraken that Kiora attempted to summon to fight Thassa to get the bite it, but ultimately could not control the monstrous kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a city that Heliod smote into the sea. But there's also a kraken underneath the city.
It is the city. Well, kind of. It's not the city, but the city's on the kraken.
Yeah.
So it's a
sweet card.
It is a sweet card. It is a sweet card. We got that preview because Stephen Green, obviously my castmate on Commander Versus, is famous for casting his lands. He always says, "I'll cast this mountain. I'll cast this other mountain."
Yeah.
It's usually mountains, to be honest. It's usually mountains. So we got this, and this is the first land you can actually cast.
It's true.
Yep.
It's true.
So Commander 2018 as a whole, a lot of people have been. I don't want.
Poo-pooing it?
Yeah, they've been poo-pooing it. And I don't think that their poo-pooing is well-founded. No, like, obviously, is it perfect? No. But most products, pre-constructed products or even sets, like, they're not perfect. Like, there's always things that people want that could have improved them. But, I don't know, some of the issues that people are having, like, not enough. There's a couple of things that are, like, fairly legitimate. There's not enough reprints that are worth value. Yes and no. I guess there's not really, but you got to think, like, it's hard to when they started developing this set probably 2 years ago. It's hard to determine card values in 2 years. Like when they started developing this set, Tireless Tracker, for example, which is a lot of people are like, oh, you easily could have put Tireless Tracker in here. Well, Tireless Tracker probably wasn't like even really like fully a card yet when they started developing this commander set. And
sure.
Some of these other cards like Life from the Loam, this has just been reprinted like a couple of times, so it wasn't an expensive or sought after card, but now it is. So it's tough for them to like guess correctly for 2 years in the future when they're developing multiple products, and sometimes like have to be careful of what they cross over, because you don't want to reprint something into the ground, but we're in a time right now with Magic financially where things, if they're not reprinted, they go up very quickly. So
yeah,
it doesn't take long if something was printed a year ago for it to go way up in price.
Sure, but on the flip side of that, I can also understand why people are frustrated because of the how weak the walkers are, except for like Saheeli.
I don't agree with that. I just don't agree. I don't think they're weak. I don't think any of them are weak. And people are like, well, I'm looking at the list, blah, blah. Okay. Spoiler alert. I'm one of the handful of people that have played with these decks. And I do not believe that these are weak cards.
I mean, they are all, not all of them, but they seem to be a little underpowered compared to normal walkers. Like the Esper one, Eminatu, the face shifter.
Yeah.
She seemed a little.
Well, what do you mean? Like, compared to what?
Like other walkers.
Well, give me an example.
I don't know, like the Token Nissa, or Getting the Trials, or Jace Beleren, like
well,
a lot of.
I mean, I think this card is significantly more powerful than 3 of those cards you named.
Which ones?
It's significantly better than Jace. It's significantly better than Gideon of the Trials.
I disagree with that, but anyways, we're arguing semantics. But like, all I'm saying is I can understand why people are like some people are upset. Like, you're defending you're saying why you think they're wrong. I'm saying like I can understand why they think these are some of these cards are like not as, I don't know, powerful, I guess, or for Commander.
I think that they are, and I definitely think that Amaratu is better than Gideon of the Trials, like by a lot. I don't even think that card's playable.
Okay.
But either way, these all play better than they look. And I don't want to get too far into that because I don't want to spoil Commander Versus next week, where you will see us play these decks in action. But I think the main issue for me is the decks went up $5, which is not honestly like Magic is so expensive. Like $5 is like nothing. It's literally like a fraction of a card. It's a fraction of a card you're going to use to upgrade these decks. But either way, they upped them by $5, and these are virtually the same as they've been for the last couple of years. I think that's a fair point. It was also pointed out to me by Saffron Olive on Twitter that there are less reprints, like actually legendary creature reprints in these sets than any other year before. And I think that's legitimate too. And it's actually something I hadn't considered because I'm not worried about those like lower cost reprints or those lower financially valuable reprints. But for people that these decks are aimed at, which are newer players, that's something that's important because those are likely the first time they're seeing those cards, and that provides them with a larger amount of options to build decks around, even if it's not the decks that they purchased, but they're kind of breaking away for parts, and then I bought one deck and it comes with 8 legendary creatures instead of just comes with 4.
Sure.
So that is something to take into consideration. I think both of those are legitimate gripes, but like from a financial side on the reprints, people are not taking into consideration what the actual new cards are going to be worth. And I think there are, as every year, like this happens every year, people are underestimating how valuable some of these cards are going to be. Because they always do. 100% of the time they always underestimate, and then a year down the road they're like, oh, that's a $15 and $20 card in these decks now. But at the time it wasn't because it's brand new, and that's just how it works. And most Magic players have very short memories on things regarding the price of Magic cards. But since it's my job, I don't.
Okay. Let's get on to the meat.
Okay. Enough of the potatoes.
The meat of the commanders.
Okay, so where do you want to start?
I'll let you start.
Okay.
You start.
So let's first do, I guess for the new cards, because I just want to talk about the new cards today. I'll just say a statement and then we each tell our opinion on it.
Sure.
Okay? All right.
Yep.
What is the best loyal, putting out quotations, card of the loyal cycle? So they're uncommon creatures that have lieutenant, which means they have an ability if you control your commander.
I don't know. I haven't really looked at all of them. Probably go with the unicorn.
Okay, what is the card name?
Loyal unicorn.
Loyal unicorn? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. I was asking legitimately. I'm on a laptop that I have to go back and forth between screens.
It says if your commander's out or your general's out. Prevent all combat damage that we dealt to creatures you control this turn. Other creatures you control have vigilance till end of turn.
And well, I feel like that's not the most important part of that card.
I mean, I read the entire card.
Oh, sorry.
Prevent all combat damage that we dealt.
Okay, yeah, huh? That part. Sorry, my audio must have gone out.
Yeah.
Fine. I think this card is. I think this is probably, in my opinion, this is probably the second best one, because it's a global effect for like all of your creatures, in a color that generally goes wide with tokens. But there are other, I guess, like less fragile ways to do this. Like if you're interested in this, like Dolmen Gate is probably a good card, which just has that ability all the time. I do like that one. My favorite one is Loyal Guardian, which is the green one. This one's pretty simple. It just says, if at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. The reason I like this one is just because this is an effect that is continuous, like after this card is long gone. It's also a 4/4 with trample for 5, so it's not, and going to be 5/5 generally when it gets into combat for the first time. So yeah, I think this is a good one. So what were you going to say?
Oh no, I think I was surprised you didn't pick the black one, Loyal Subordinate.
Three life to lose is a lot, but the fact that you're draining everyone else means that card is going to have a gigantic target on its head, and thus you're going to have a giant target on your head. So you're probably not going to get too many activations out of it.
Sure. I'm just saying. I'm just surprised. The zombie.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. It's I just think the green one is just the strongest by a lot. All right. So what about the storm? I'm putting air quotes around that. The storm cycle. What do you think is the best storm card? It's like essentially Commander Storm, where it copies the spell for each time you cast your commander from the command zone this game.
My favorite is I don't know. I have favorites, but I'm not sure which one's the best.
Well, what is your favorite?
My favorite is
you can just say what your favorite one is.
Okay, Echo Storm. It's the blue one that says create a token that's a copy of target artifact.
Okay.
I just think that's like a pretty powerful effect in itself. I think like 4 mana. I think 4 mana to clone one artifact is fine. And then if you do it for 5, like usually copy artifact costs 3 mana.
Yeah.
If people do it twice, you're getting your value out of it. But if people do it more than 2 times, like you're gonna do some pretty nice stuff. Pretty nice stuff with the artifacts.
Yeah, probably so. My favorite one is the red one, which is like it's like Fork Storm, but it's called Fury Storm. And this just says this is the only one that's an instant. All the rest are sorceries. This just says copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. I think this one scales the best because you get to, if like inevitably when people do crazy stuff, for just 4 mana, you can copy it a ton of times. And it doesn't have to be that crazy because like if you have like some sort of regular effect, like if I'm playing with you and you play like a time warp, I'm gonna be like, all right, well I'll time warp 3 times.
Well, yeah,
for 4 mana.
That's pretty absurd. Sure.
Yeah, but even something like, okay, I'll cast Exsanguinate. X equals 8. All right, well I'll cast Exsanguinate. X equals 8 times 3, or I'll cast Genesis Wave, or Villainous Wealth. There's like all of these gigantic like scaling cards, and this like forks are good against those anyway. But the fact that you get multiple instances of this, I think this one gets really crazy really quickly. Okay.
Okay.
This one's maybe more for me than you, but obviously, I want to hear your take too. What is your best financial pick for the set? So card that's kind of undervalued now, that will go up in value exponentially from where it is.
I'm not sure about undervalued, but like I know Saheeli isn't undervalued, but I think she will still go up.
No, I actually think Saheeli's a good pick.
Okay, so I'd pick Saheeli, or maybe Thanos, Urge's Apprentice.
Okay, I think Saheeli can go higher than Thanos, but it's also a more expensive card right now.
Oh, I agree.
So.
I mean, I think Saheeli goes higher too. I think Thanos has like, if it ever happens, like ever that you can see play in like an older format.
Yeah.
Then you go up, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really the rub. I don't actually think there's. I don't know if there's
really
any.
Enough.
I don't think there's actually any cards in this set that actually make a splash in any format, other than Commander.
Yeah, Legacy or Vintage.
Yeah, which is fine. Like that's not what they're designed for.
I mean, Saheeli is like the only one that might, maybe, because her effect's pretty powerful. Like,
yeah,
being able to cast.
It is the only. It is the only one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saheeli has the. Saheeli's +1 ability where you reduce the next spell you cast by the number of artifacts you control. That's the single most powerful ability on any of the planeswalkers in this set. Obviously, non-ultimate ability, should I say?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. But it's also a plus, and like.
Yeah.
You can do some dumb things, man. I don't know. Like this card was a modern.
You can do some dumb things. Yeah.
This card would be very powerful in modern.
You'd be casting Emeralds in modern.
I mean, Ulamog is good enough, I think, but yeah.
Yeah.
Still absurd.
Well, in modern, you'd be casting Emrakul because you can.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure, Ulamog. I guess new Ulamog. I was thinking old Ulamog. Yeah. Yeah, you'd be doing some stuff
new
like
Ulamog
that.
is just cheaper. It's 5 cheaper. Yeah.
All right. So I have
because sorry, real quick. There's all your decks that play like lantern control type decks that aren't all in on Lantern. Could easily play these. Like there's some decks that playing like Tezzeret the Seeker and some War Inventions, and then like being able to do this and just
But unfortunately, we're in Magical Christmas Land because that's not a card, not happening.
I know. Anyways, go ahead.
So I have two because I think there's two good ones. The first one is Windgrace's Judgment. This one's actually kind of simple. It is just a instant speed Maelstrom Pulse for. Like, not Maelstrom Pulse, but like...
Vindicate.
Almost Vindicate.
Well, non-land Vindicate.
Yeah. Non-land Vindicate for each opponent for 3 blue or 3 black green. So you literally just get, for each player, you just get their most problematic permanent. And it's an instant, so... This card is pretty great. This card's pretty great.
Yeah, I think it's auto-include any black-green deck, honestly.
I think so, too. And this card is not going for very much, but... Like, yeah, this is if you're playing black green, you're gonna play this card.
Like, yeah, you should. Yeah, for sure.
And that, I mean, that's the thing for me. It's like if I see a card that I feel like goes in every deck that are playing the colors, then that's probably a card you want to look out for. So I think that one is severely undervalued. And then my number 2 card after that is Verena Lich Queen. This is the zombie Wizard Lord. It's a 4/4 for 1 white, blue, black, and it's just like a Esper Zombie Lord. This I also believe is undervalued. This is I think going to pick up as a commander a lot, especially with Amonkhet block introducing so many white zombies. You actually have like legitimate zombies, like white zombies to play with this. Tribal is big, obviously, as everyone saw last year. They had their entire decks around it. And this is an excellent tribal legend. It's like a perfect commander for that. So this one I also think is very undervalued. Okay. What were you gonna say, Ali?
I was gonna say like also Embalm is also white zombies.
Yeah.
Like an Hunter Priest.
That's right. Yeah. It turns them into zombies. Yeah. I mean that's not nothing. That's not nothing. Nope. All those things kind of add up to a lot of like actual. Obviously, anytime you have a zombie deck, it's going to be base black, but there's plenty of blue zombies, and now there's a lot of white zombies too. Okay.
Yep.
I think I already know your answer to this one, but what do you think is the best Planeswalker card from the set?
Oh, I'll go Saheeli as well.
Yeah.
For what? For Commander?
Well, yeah, for Commander. This is all for
yeah,
Commander.
yeah, Saheeli.
Saheeli.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Lord Windgrace.
Okay.
I think Saheeli again has the most powerful ability, but I think Lord Windgrace encourages play patterns that ultimately put you further ahead than any other. I guess than any other planeswalker, just by going up and down.
Sure, he basically like just
he's a value
whatever.
machine.
He's just good.
Yeah, and
yeah.
honestly,
Saheeli's like will push you over the top.
Yeah, exactly. Now, yeah, and Saheeli goes bigger and gets scarier quicker than anyone else. But the longer the game goes, the more difficult it is to beat Lord Windgrace, because if you plus and you discard a land, you're like drawing 2, and then he's already at 7 loyalty. And if you bring him in minus, he goes to 2, and you put the crazy thing is with the -3, you put the 2 lands onto the battlefield. So
right, so if you kill him, make sure you do it again.
You're literally paying for his commander tax every time you do that. And then if you decide to take a turn off to cast some gigantic spell in your hand, then that's just going to put you farther ahead. And just by the nature of his deck, you have a lot of lands in your deck, so just by the fact of playing this card is gonna do the things, like the 2 most important things in Commander, which is ramp and then draw cards.
I am a little sad that his ultimate is -11 instead of -10.
Yeah, because yes and no. I actually think it's better as -11 because it puts him back in the command zone for you to cast him again.
Well, I was just going off doubling season.
Oh, you can't do it immediately? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But I think, like, honestly, the -11 is good, and it's like that's a hey, if you let me get there, I'm going to do this. But if you don't, like, you can play the value game for a really long time just going up and down. And he doesn't encourage people to kill them because you can literally just replay it every time. Unlike all of these other commanders, he's the easiest to recast just by the nature of the way that you're building the deck.
Sure. Yeah, he's just a value engine.
Okay. All right, so now we have three more for this section. Overrated, underrated, and properly rated. You can just do those in any order you want.
Let's do properly rated.
Okay, properly rated. So, how card that you think is as good as it looks.
Yeah, basically. I would go with. This one's actually kind of tough.
Wait, do you want me to start on this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. So I'll start with properly rated. Properly rated is Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow. This is the blue-black commander ninjutsu, legendary ninja. This is maybe the card people are most excited about for this set, and I think this card is as good as it looks, and is probably as fun as people think that it is going to be. I don't think this card is actually overrated. The ability is pretty crazy because you just literally can pay blue and black for casting it every single time, and it even though there aren't that many ninjas, it's so good, and it does the exact thing you want it to 100% of the time with zero failure rate. I think it makes this card really awesome and is going to see a ton of play forever.
Yeah. I was gonna say, properly rated. Magus the Balance.
Magus the Balance, you think is properly rated?
Yeah, I think so. I think people are like scared of it, but not like too scared of it. But I think it's properly rated. Because Balance is banned to Commander, so like this thing's obviously pretty insane.
Yeah. I mean, I think. I don't like this card as much as some people because I think it's easy to see coming.
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah, that's why I think it's.
But
I think most people think it's like okay. Like I don't think. Well, I'm saying it's properly because no one thinks it's insane. Not that I know of. But,
yeah, probably not. I do like if there's not spot removal for it, this is a great political card.
Sure.
Which I really enjoy.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Underrated. I'm gonna go with Reality Scramble. This is one of the cooler cards in the set. This is a red card that has Retrace, and it's essentially like polymorph for a permanent. It says, I'm just going to read the text. It says, put target permanent you own on the bottom of your library. Reveal a card from the top of your library and reveal a card that shares a card type with that permanent. Put that card on the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. For 2 red, and it has a Retrace, which means you can discard a land, play its cost again, and recast the spell. So
yeah, I noticed how to Retrace, honestly.
This card would be awful if it didn't have Retrace.
Yeah,
but it does.
Well, I thought it was awful.
Yeah, well, it does. Yeah, it reads terrible if you don't just look at that one word at the very bottom.
Yeah.
So this card I think is really underrated because immediately when I saw this card, I was like, oh man, in a red green deck, a deck with at least red and probably green, you can just cycle through your planeswalkers in your deck. Like, I'm going to put this in my Ulash deck, and if I have a planeswalker out, like a Garruk or like a Xenaghost Reveler, or even alternatively just a Xenaghost the Reveler, and I +1 to make like 7 mana, equal number of creatures I have, and then cast that, put it on the bottom, cycle all the way through my deck, reveal it, put it back into play, do its ability again, and do that literally for the amount of lands I have in my hand. I think you can actually.
If you just have Xenaghost, you go infinite with mana.
Well, you need lands to recast it.
Oh, in your hand.
But
sure.
If you have something like Groundspeaker, or from, I guess it's originally from Arcadia Mask. I think they reprinted it in like Shadows of Innistrad.
Sure.
Where you can pay 1 and a green to return a basic land from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah.
So if you make 7 mana, you can literally just make infinite mana with Xenaghost. Or
it's just cool too to be able to like basically use Planeswalker's abilities more than once.
Yeah.
Like you put Xenaghost at the bottom, then you get like a Garruk or you get like a Ugin or
exactly
whatever Karn.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then recycle it again. Yeah.
Yeah. Garruk, because like in my Ulash deck, I have 2 Planeswalkers, and it's Garruk Relentless, or not Garruk Relentless, Garruk Wildspeaker and Xenaghost the Reveler. So if I'm like cycling through each of those and I'm like have a handful of creatures in play, I'm just going to generate a ton of mana or other whatever, until I run out of resources. So I actually think this is a pretty sweet card, if only for that angle, just because Planeswalkers, it's something you can do immediately when you play it, and then you can keep cycling through. So I'm excited about it for that. All right, Ollie, you're underrated.
It's Turn Timber Sower.
Okay.
Turn Timber Sowers. Huh? Oh, it's 2 and green for 3/3. And it says whenever 1 or more land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, create a 0/1 green plant creature token from the battlefield. Then you can pay a green and sacrifice 3 creatures to return a land card from your graveyard to your hand.
I would be more in for this card if it put the land back into play.
Oh my god, that'd be absurd.
Would it be absurd?
That'd be too good.
Would it?
Yeah.
Would it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'd be too good.
With fetch lands, it'd be really good. Yes, probably too good. It'd be too good.
I don't think so.
I mean,
how would it be? I mean, I don't understand how it's too
on its
good.
own.
Like how? But I'm saying, like, how is that too good?
Because if you have like
you sack 3 creatures and then you put a fetch land back onto the battlefield.
No, but fetch land triggers it twice.
How does it trigger it twice?
Oh, sorry, not twice, but like it generates it without like a drawback. Like usually when a land goes to the graveyard, it's like you're not putting one into play. But I think this card is like fine on its own text box, but once you start like including like other things into it, it can get pretty absurd.
Well, can it?
Like, yeah, I think so. Yes. Like the tokens matter, with like either with Avenger of Zendikar or just whatever token theme you have.
Yeah.
Like, and then the regrow a land, I think is also very powerful. It makes it very hard for someone to get rid of like a land that you really want. Like let's say maybe the strip mine, or maybe it's a hideaway land, or what have you, or like whatever the green hideaway land is called.
Mosswork Ridge.
Sure, but yeah. So basically, any land that's like you just want to keep reusing, or maybe even Gaia's Cradle, or land that your opponent doesn't want you to have. If you have this guy in play, it's also very hard for them to get it out of your graveyard as well. So
yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm not in for this card. I think it's too much. I think it's too much effort for minimal payoff.
I like it.
Okay.
I like lands though, so
yeah. I mean, I like lands too. I just don't think this is a good. I just don't think this card is that great.
Okay.
But I would love to be wrong. I'd like to see. I'd love if this was a cool engine card like that. Okay, and then last we have overrated. My overrated card. This is, I think, surprisingly the first time I've actually talked about a black card. I've talked about some black X cards. My overrated card is Skullstorm. This is the black Storm card, and it says each opponent sacrifices a creature. Each opponent who can't loses half their life rounded up. People are losing their minds because like, oh man, you do this like 3 times, and it's like, yeah, but it costs 9 mana and it's a sorcery. So you're not like playing. You're generally not like playing Damnation and then playing this, because 9 mana is a lot. And if you're playing Damnation and then playing this, why don't you just cast Torment Hellfire and just win the game already? Because this can't kill anyone. It can simply reduce them to a low life total. So I think the juice is not worth the squeeze on Skullstorm. I think most of the game, this thing rots in your hand, and you have to wait for like the right moment to play it, where you can maybe get someone that has like 1 or 0 creatures.
That makes sense.
Okay, Ollie.
All right, mine's also a black card. Unfortunately, so sorry.
I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, I want to go with Entreat the Dead. I think this card is just not good enough. Just because like it's really hard to make miracles work with your game plan when you're miracling it. Like, how do I explain this? Basically, like the best miracles are the ones that you don't need anything else to make happen, and they're powerful. Like Temporal Mastery. It's like, okay, whoops, I drew this, whatever. I'm gonna cast it because it's a powerful effect. Or like Terminus, like, okay, well, this is a powerful effect, I'm gonna cast it. Or Bonfire of the Damned. You're like, okay, well, I drew this. I was gonna do something else, but this is just too good. I'm gonna cast this instead. Where Entreat the Dead is like, if you miracle it early, and you have like nothing in your graveyard, it's just a really feel bad. And then on top of that, to reanimate 1 creature costs 5 mana if you have it in your hand, and for 2 it's like 7. I just feel like it's a lot. I'm not saying it's not playable, but I just feel like it's just not as good as people think it's going to be.
I actually agree. I don't think you can play this in mono black.
Yeah, I think it has to be like
blue black or
blue black deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to really like carefully manage it.
Yeah, it's same thing as Treat the Angels. Very powerful effect. Early on, it's
yeah, but the big issue with this card, and you actually kind of brought this up, is this card says target on it, and all of the other miracles that are good don't target anything. You can just
exactly,
you can just
and this would be better if it targeted any creature from your graveyard, but it's literally only creatures from your graveyard, so it's even worse. So it's like,
yeah, I don't dislike this card as much as you, but I'm on your side.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's playable. I just definitely think it's overrated.
I think it's playable too. I mean, I think the upside of this card is you win the game on the spot, that's a good upside for any card to have, because of all of the cards in this set, there's like 3 or 4 cards.
Yeah, but how much does Liliana's thing?
Yeah, a lot has to go. A lot has to go. You have to set it up, and it has to come at the right time. It can work, right. But this is also seems like another.
What's the spell that reanimates all creatures from all graveyards?
Rise the Dark Realms.
How much that cost?
It costs 9 mana.
Yeah, it's basically this card, but better because it gets all graveyards. Where this is only gets your graveyard.
Rises. I mean, that is one, in my opinion, one of the best cards in black.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I actually agree. I think it's cute. I think this is more honestly. I think this is more of a combo card than like Rise of the Dark Realms, because Rise of the Dark Realms is like a sledgehammer made of battery acid.
It's just. Yeah, it's everybody. It's insane.
Yeah. This is more of like I'm setting up my graveyard and I want to reanimate like a combo at once. And like I want to miracle this like at the end of my opponent's turn before I go into my turn. When
so much, it's just so much.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's you have to do a lot of setup. Okay, all right. Lightning round. We're just gonna quickly say our favorite card for each color. Minimal explanation. Are you ready?
Sure. You start.
All right. White. Boreas Charger. This is a nice little card. Does a mild ramp for white. Honestly, I don't think white got too many great cards in this set, but I do think this is the best of the bunch.
I'm not a huge fan of white, but I'm going to go with the Imperial Storm. It just makes... It's the miracle for angels for white.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah. I agree. I don't think if you like to play white, if you like to play white in Commander, this is... You probably don't feel great about the cards that came out of this set.
I agree. So like maybe Magus the Balance, like Barry said.
Yeah,
that.
I was surprised you didn't say Magus.
I mean, I would say Magus.
But I guess the kind of point is none of them are that great. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Blue card. I do really love this blue card. Mine is Primordial Mists. This is
yeah, that's mine too. But I won't. I'll say something else. I think. Mine is too. Mine is definitely Mist.
This is so yeah. Well, we can both say this card. This card's great. This is honestly one of the coolest cards in this entire set.
Yes, it really is.
So it's got Whisper Elemental text, which means it says at the beginning of your end step, you manifest the top card of your library, which means it becomes a 2/2 face down creature. And this is actually, you can finally flip up spells. So this is honestly a big thing that these type of decks have been missing, is the ability to like flip up your spells, and this with Primordial Mist in play, you actually can. Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Black.
Favorite black card?
You obviously think it's Entreat the Dead. No.
Entreat the Dead. No. I mean, I personally like simple things. I like Night Incarnate. It's a 5-cost 3/4 death touch. It says whenever it dies, it gives all creatures -3/-3, and you can invoke it for 4. So basically, it's like a Languish that's a little smaller.
Yeah.
That you can also cast.
Yeah.
So.
I actually like that card okay. I like evoke creatures are nice in Commander.
Yeah.
Especially
in your decks where you like abuse the when a creature dies effect. So
oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Now this won't make it because I don't like minus effects, because Yahenni dies to minus effects.
Oh sure.
So like I don't have like Black Sun Zenith or Mutilate, where I previously have had those cards like in like other versions of my deck, but I don't have it right now. My favorite is Sower of Discord, and this is one of my favorite cards in the entire set. 6/6 for 6, flying. When it enters the battlefield, choose 2 players. Whenever damage is dealt to one of the chosen players, the other chosen player also loses that much life. There's 2 cool ways you can use this card. One, to kind of protect yourself. Okay, so to clear up any confusion, I believe you should always target yourself with this card, which seems weird, because then it's like, okay, well, people can just attack the other person and hit you too if you're putting up defenses. But you target yourself, and then you target someone else that is attacking you, that is like got their sights on you, so they have to essentially stop, or they kill themselves too. Or alternatively, you choose yourself and someone that you want to kill, and then you start draining yourself because you're in black. So you start, activating Greed or Erebos, or things that make you lose life, or Friction Reclamation. And you literally just do this, and you gain all of this value, and all the while you're like killing somebody else along the way.
I can see you like just laughing over here manically with like Magical Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, Sower Discord, choose you. All right, I'm gonna pay 18 life and draw 9 cards with Erebos. You lose 18. Yeah. All right, red.
You go.
All right. This is my second favorite card in the set. Sower Discord's my third. Varchild, Betrayer of Keldor. This card is so sweet. You deal damage to someone, and you make survivor tokens. And when Varchild dies, you get all of the survivor tokens. And when you don't have the survivor tokens, they can't block, and if they attack, which they want to because they can't block, They can't attack you or planeswalker you control. This is like the sweetest red token maker in a really long time, maybe ever.
I think they did good job with red. They gave her a lot of toys because otherwise red has been lacking, I think. But anyways,
red actually had a really strong set for this set. Anyway,
yes,
go ahead.
Yeah. Mine's Emissary of Grudges. Yeah. I think it's also a sweet card. It's a 6-cost flying haste creature for 6/5. It says that as Emissary of Grudges into the battlefield, choose an opponent. Secretly choose an opponent. Then it says reveal the player you choose as an activated ability. Choose new targets for target spell or ability if it's controlled by a chosen player, and if it targets you or a permanent you control. Activate this ability only once.
This card is so great because you can lie.
Yeah, it's mind games. Yeah,
you just be like, all right, well, I'm going to play this one. Ollie tries to kill something. I'm just going to blow up something of his, and then you chose,
somebody else.
Chose Harlan
or whatever,
as the other person. Yeah.
It's just a fun card, and also the card itself is fine. It's a 6 mana 6/5 with haste. It's like a dragon, so that's good.
Yeah. It also hits art in addition to the ability. Yeah. All right. I already said mine. Okay, so green. I also think green got a little shafted on this set, but green is arguably the best color in Commander, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with Ravenous Slime. This is just a nice little another graveyard hate card. It exiles creatures as they go into the graveyard, which is really important. That's aggravating to me as someone who plays black and graveyard decks a lot, so you don't even have a chance to get them. Yeah, I do respect it. I would kill this card immediately. It also gets pretty big. So yeah, Ravenous Slime. That's my pick for green.
Mine is a Whip Tongue Hydra. It's just 6-cost, 4/4 with reach. When it comes into play, it destroys all flyers. I think it's +1/+1 for each creature destroyed.
Yeah, I think this is.
I just really like it.
It's a powerful effect.
Yeah, it's like green has a hard time with flyers. Some of the best creatures are angels or demons or dragons.
You know, the funny thing about this card is this is the best spider ever printed for Commander.
Best Hydra?
No, the best spider.
What do you mean by spider? Because reach?
No, because traditionally, spiders are the creatures that deal with flyers.
Oh, sure.
And it's a lizard hydra. It's not even a.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Also, if you have ways to give your guys, if one's flying, you can, do that too.
Yeah. That's if you can figure out that is the coolest part of this card for sure. You just give them flying and then kill them all. All right, multicolored. My number one favorite card in the entire set is Zoncha Sleeper Agent. This card is so great for politics,
it's super unique,
and its effect is so unique, and it's a super duper sweet card.
Okay, a
lot of multicolored cards to choose from.
We're gonna veto Aruxamithes, Slumbering Isle, because I'll just pick that. Instead, I'm gonna pick Yanet, Cryptic Sovereign.
Okay. This sounds like some BS up your alley. Yeah.
she's an Esper in 2, so 5 mana for 3/5.
Yep.
And she has Flying, Vigilance, and Menace. Very hard to block. Whenever she attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If that card's mana cost is odd, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Otherwise, draw a card. This card is just so sweet. You can build around it, but you can also not.
You don't have to just have odd costs in your deck to make this good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, everything about this card is odd. The mana cost is odd. The power toughness is odd. Its name, if you count letters in its name, they're all odd. And even the card number, it's 51 out of 307. It's also odd. Also, the flavor text, every word in the flavor text is odd. Has odd letters.
And there's an odd number of words in the flavor text.
Yeah, it's just sweet. It's just a very obviously it took a long time to make. I imagine.
Wait,
and the ability just.
You only blow it up though. It's a Sphinx, and that's only 6 letters.
Rats.
Yeah.
How much does that blue time walk cost? Or you make everyone give you a permanent or
expropriate? 9.
Yeah.
They're all
Perfect.
odd. They're all the good ones are odd.
All right, so you stack with that, and you mystical tutor expropriate, then attack with your net, and GG. Because then, like, you can attack there again and again, and still permanence.
Yeah, this is
fun card.
I do like this card. Not only that, but all of the the mess with your library cards in those colors are well, blue and colorless. Those are all like odd too, like Soothsaying, Top, obviously. So
yeah, I'm just glad because like before this it was like Sharum or Sharum the Hegemon, and like I like this one more.
Well, they're doing very different things, but yeah, I like.
Yeah, but Sharum does the same thing every time.
Yeah, Sharum's boring. I think that's so crazy. That card is so powerful, and it like bored people so much that people just like don't like. I haven't seen someone play that card in a long time.
Yeah, she's very powerful. Yeah,
it is really powerful, but it's just like no one just. It's like, I've seen this
okay,
before.
So yes, yeah.
Okay, last one, colorless, and this can include lands too. I'm going to go with Geode Golem. This is one of the most unique cards. If you hit them with this 5/3 Trampler, you can cast your commander for free. Now you still have to pay commander cost, commander tax. So if you've cast it before, but still, for the first time, you get them for free. So this is sweet with things that cost like 8, 9, 10 mana. You know.
Yeah.
Your Progenitus, or your Ur-Dragon, or what have you. So this is a sweet card.
I'm gonna go with the Isolated Watchtower.
Okay.
It's a land. You can type it for colorless, and then you can pay 2 to scry 1. Then you may be able to top cover your library. If it's a basic land, you can put in a play, tapped. Otherwise, nothing happens. But it says you can only activate it if an opponent controls 2 more lands than you. If you're playing a 4-man game, usually someone's gonna ramp. Yeah. But also, I like you can abuse this with like Kurus, like bounce lands. Yeah. Or you can abuse it with like strip mines and stuff, so like or wastelands, or Dust Bowl. Basically, like you target one person, and then eventually, like someone's gonna ramp, or just play the game out, and then or you bounce land with a coup land, and you can just start ramping. And a land that ramps you is pretty powerful, I think. So
it is. I actually do think this. I think this card is narrow for the decks that it can fit in, because to make it really work for you, you have to
build around it.
You have to build around it, but the payoff is big. I really like this card too.
Yeah, so just play Kurus and lands that sacrifice themselves to do stuff.
Yeah, speaking of this is another good pick. We didn't talk about this one, but for financial looking at, this card is only a couple bucks right now. Like this is easy like a $12 card a year from now. Just throwing it out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so unique. It's super unique.
Yeah, I mean, like scrying. Look how much Scrying Sheets is. This card is significantly better than Scrying Sheets. Like significantly better. It just puts the if it's a basic land. So you're only mostly playing this in 1 or 2 color decks, but like, man, like it's a big deal to if you can continuously hit this effect.
Yep, it is.
All right. We've said a lot of words on Commander 2018. Do you have any more?
No, that's
okay.
No, that's it.
As my voice is going out, appropriate time. Okay. All right. In that case, I need to drink some water, so we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, Story Circle, Chronicles of Bolas, a familiar string.
Chronicles of Bolas, a familiar stranger. Weird title, but it's better than episode 2.
We know. Yeah, look, there's no need to beat Dominaria Story back into the ground.
Yeah, it's done. It's done. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. I'm getting comfy.
You get popcorn or your blanket?
Oh yeah. Hold on. No, that's a good call. Good call. Hold on. I don't have popcorn, but I have a blanket.
Do you have chocolate or anything? Like
snack? Yeah. Okay. You know what? You start. I'm gonna get the chocolate. I got my blanket, so you just go ahead.
Okay. So we start off with the group entering a cave, and they see the Temur mark, which has been forbidden by a Tarka. This place is represents a sacred place that is hidden from all the dragons by a camouflage spell that hovers over the area, which the dragons can't see. It's supposedly for whispers so they can go there to conceal themselves. It doesn't necessarily say if it's like for age or because like maybe their power gets too strong or something that a target can sense them. It just says that whispers go there when they can't conceal themselves. So Grandma Yosova goes to explore the cave. She tells Bayasha and Nivea to wait, like don't go any deeper. But Bay goes deeper because she says, "Hey, I hear Ugin. He's telling me to go this way. I want to go." She goes in an area where there's like a bunch of hedron circles, and basically she ends up passing out into like a trance type state. And when Bay goes in there, so Bay's having a vision in her state. When Nivea goes in there, she can't breathe, so she grabs her sister's hand out of instinct, and then she begins to share her vision and what she's seeing. What we see is how Ugin walked the plains after he got a spark. He started exploring multiple planes. Then he goes back to visit Dominaria to see what's going on there. He sees what Bolas is kind of doing with the humans and the dragons. Like he's building things to make him more powerful, or building an army. And he notices that there's a bunch of like dragon slayers or archers like firing things at him, but at this point he's just very powerful and he can spells that can deflect those with ease. So he gets upset, he leaves, he starts planeswalking again for thousands of years. Then finally he's like, okay, I'll go back to Dominaria and see my brother. When he goes back, he sees a huge war between Arcades and Bolas going on, and then he gets so upset that he sees like both of them fighting. He gets in the middle of them, spreads his wings, and tells them to stop. And Arcade's like, "Hey, I'm not trying to fight. I'm just trying to defend defend myself. Bolas is attacking me, basically." That's what he's saying. And then so they stop. Arcade retreats, and Bolas tells Ugin that he wants to rule all Dominaria, and he's basically completed this task. He's like he's going to complete it. And Ugin says, "Why do you want to do that when there's so many more worlds? Like Dominaria is like one of many." So Ugin at this point has been gone for 4,000 or 5,000 years, and he's still upset that Bolas tried to manipulate him that like four or 5,000 years ago with his mind. Ugin tries to teach Bolas to walk, but as he's talking, he realizes that
planeswalk, to clarify.
To planeswalk, yes. That he needs a spark. Bolas calls Ugin a liar. And he says, "You just want what I have now. You want this glory and rule all these lands because that's why you're here." And Ugin's like, "You're so self-centered. You're so self-centered. Like that's not what I'm doing." And then Bolas says, "Ugin, you're the manipulator, not me. I'm just doing what I need to do. I've just made Dominaria safe for dragons." And Ugin says, "Enjoy your ascendancy over Dominaria. Like, you basically won't know other worlds." And he planeswalks away. And that's all we see from that story.
Then
we go back to
mad shade being thrown by Ugin.
Yeah, it's basically like a brother teasing a brother. Like, look what I got, like a lollipop or something.
Yeah.
So, Nivea runs to her grandmother and tells her about Bay and the visions. Grandma Yosova is like, "Go hide with others." And Nivea's like, "Okay, what are you gonna do, Grandma?" She's like, "I don't know." And that just shocks Yosova because like she's used to her grandmother being firm and knowing what to do. And this whole time she's like just telling her like, "Hey, I love you, go do this," and then saying, I don't know what I'm gonna do." It's kind of scary. So as she's leaving, Nivea meets Mevra, which they all know from the beginning that Mevra is not necessarily Mevra because she smells different, and Grandma doesn't even know if it's actually her.
So to clarify, Mevra was part of the Atarka clan that went out on a hunting party a year ago.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So, but Mevra's talking to her and telling her she wants to see Yosova. But Neva realizes that it's not Mevra. She realizes this and knows that she's floating, not walking at all, and she calls her out on it. And the figure says, "You're smart." Blah blah blah, and starts like unfurling with a smile and horns and golden things, and we see gold and horns. It's Bolas, so it's basically Bolas unfurling himself, and he says, "I'm here for Ugin. I want to kill Ugin." And Neve says, "Ugin's dead." And Bolas says, "Well, I thought I killed him, but apparently he's not dead. But this time, you can help me kill him for eternity, for all eternity." He says, Neve, when you do this, you will be a renowned dragon killer. You'll be known for all of time. You'll be worshipped. Blah blah blah. Like, gives her all these like. He's fluffing her up.
Yeah.
Or building her up. And then the scene ends.
Great story. Now go ahead.
I'll say this was a little confusing to me because this is the past, right?
Yes. Well,
so Bolas.
It's at some point in the past.
Yeah. So I'm just confused now because like Bolas tried to kill Ugin. Are we now in the present?
With Yasova and Navia?
At the very end with Navia and Bolas.
Yeah, I think that part of the story has been in the present.
So why do you think that Ugin's dead?
What? What is who?
Okay.
Okay. What's
the I thought this whole story was taking place in the past. Not the dragon story. The group of people.
The story on Tarkir?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I thought it was in the beginning, and now it's not. I think now it's caught up.
I don't. Like.
Maybe I'm wrong, and that's why it's confusing.
Are you talking about?
Because they kept saying, "Oh, we need to go save Ugin," blah 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 blah. But we know Ugin's alive. He's been alive.
Yeah. You're talking about like the storyline on Tarkir.
Yes.
Yeah, that's in the present.
So why do they think Ugin's dead?
Why wouldn't they think Ugin's dead?
Ugin's alive.
Ollie, we know that. Why would the characters think that Ugin is alive?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Because also the history's been rewritten too, and when it got rewrote. Wait. When it got rewrote, yeah, the dragons took over.
Yeah, well, do you remember what happened?
Because they never died.
You remember what happened?
Yeah. I remember now.
Ugin,
yeah, the dragons.
Even in this,
when Ugin died, all the dragons basically died, or there were no more storms to birth dragons.
Correct.
And since Ugin didn't die, there's still storms birthing dragons, so that they end up becoming the dragon lords instead of having like the humans being the lords. So okay, so we are. So yeah, okay, wow. So I've been misinterpreting this the entire time because for them thinking that Ugin is dead just confused me. So
yeah, they think Ugin is dead because Ugin has a grave, but we know it's empty because Sarkin revived him with the Hedrons.
Yes,
because Ugin in the timeline, like in the Fate Reforged timeline, when Ugin and Bolas fight, Ugin dies. Or almost dies. Because remember, okay, so in Khan's timeline, Bolas and Ugin fight, and Bolas beats him and leaves Ugin to die, and then he dies. He doesn't die immediately, but he basically falls into a crater and then dies.
Yeah.
In Fate Reforged, they fight and he falls into the crater, but that time Sarkin is there and puts him in the Hedrons to heal him. So then he heals himself.
Yeah, and the reason Bolas leaves is because Bolas goes there, he fights Ugin, and is able to manipulate all the dragons to kill Ugin. Yes. So when Ugin falls and he's not
he just thinks he's dead, he just leaves him.
Yeah, because he thinks the other dragons will kill him because he's mind controlled them or manipulated them in some way to
Exactly.
kill Ugin.
Yes.
And then instead, Sarkhan comes and saves him.
Exactly.
I remember that part. Yeah.
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 So, but that's still Ugin's grave, even though we know that it was a shallow grave, essentially, because Ugin didn't actually die. But it's still there.
So his bones are there, but he's not. But he's still alive.
Well, it's not his bones; it's the hedrons.
Okay. Well, Ugin's Nexus shows his bones, so which was art on the. Well,
yeah, but Ugin. But I think Ugin. Yeah, but I think Ugin's Nexus is referring to when Sarkhan is going back in time.
Okay.
You know, since it's a time.
Well, I'm wondering if Ugin like set up a fake death, or if he's actually, there's no bones there. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think there are bones in the present. It's just the hedron.
Okay.
They even when they discuss the, Navia and Batia going into the grave, they're going through a hedron. They literally the structure they describe is a hedron.
Yeah.
So
okay, so this is interesting, to say at least then.
So yeah, so the Tarkir story is taking place now, or
in the present.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's like present, like immediate present, like not like right after Bolas got Liliana from on Dominaria present, because that's the last thing that we know, and I was 100% sure in the present, but we know it's in the relative present, right?
It's in the timeline, yeah, in that time frame.
Yeah, it's around a time. It's a time that has happened very recently, if not exactly the present. So
yeah.
Most importantly, something that we were asking when we were talking about Ixalan's story is, does Bolas know that Ugin is alive? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
So this is really important because Ugin doesn't know that Bolas knows that he's alive.
That Bolas knows. I wonder how he found out. Anyways, that's kind of cool. Wait, this makes the ending.
I have a theory.
What's your theory?
Rouse Eric. Project Lightning Bug, where he can track planeswalkers.
Okay.
That's a theory. I don't know that to be. I'm just guessing, but that's kind of. I think that's what he's using that for.
Yeah, he's also used Vraska's memories, and he knows of his Azor, but not Ugin.
Who knows of Azor?
Bolas, doesn't he? Because of Vraska's memories.
Yeah. He knows. Yeah, he knows of Azor from the Ixalan story. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't know of Ugin specifically from that, because when he
interaction. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it just makes the cliffhanger much more cliffhangery.
Oh yeah, because this is taking place now.
Yeah.
And we don't know where Ugin is specifically. We know
he's been lazy, man. He didn't
help
with the Eldrazi.
I don't think Ugin's been lazy. That's the last time we saw him, though. It was on Innistrad, right before, right after.
Before they killed Ulamog and Kozilek, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah, not even on Innistrad. It was Battleford's in the car.
Yeah, he was never on Innistrad. It was just Balvord's in the car. He's like, Jace, don't do this. Jace's like, yeah, I'm going to do it anyways because, you're stupid.
Oh, yeah, I'm Jace. I know everything.
Yeah, and then Ugin comes back. He's like, oh my god, I can't believe you did this. You're basically like, we're not friends anymore. And leaves. He's like, you don't know what you've done. And then they go and kill. Well, they don't kill Emrakul, but they go and fight Emrakul on Innistrad, Emrakul then imprisons herself on the moon.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't know what Ugin's been doing.
Not involved with Eldrazi, even though he said he was going to help with Eldrazi. He said he was going to help imprison them again, but he didn't do jack squat.
Yeah. Again, this is going back to we don't trust Ugin. I don't know what he's up to, but I'm not saying I trust Bolas, but it doesn't mean I trust Ugin. So.
Well, Bolas is actually no. I don't know.
You
always know Bolas wants.
It's the devil you know versus the devil you don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Literally what it is.
But, I mean, important thing. Obviously, the most important thing from this story is Bolas knows that Ugin is alive. So.
Yes. that is important.
There's 3 more stories after this one.
Yeah.
So we're fully in. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I wish it was 2 more stories. Randomly coming out.
Why do you wish it was just 2 more?
Oh, I'm saying I wish we were ahead 1 story. Because last week they cut a story out.
Oh, you wish they didn't cut the story out?
Yes.
Well,
because I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah, well, you're gonna know. You're gonna know. You just don't get to know today or tomorrow.
Well, hopefully it's 3 weeks, not a month.
I know. What if they did it? What if they do it again?
They can't do it again now because now we're in too deep.
Oh, they can do it again. They can do it whenever they want. They have full power over.
I'll be upset to do it again.
Yeah, I know. Your voice cracked a little bit, like you were gonna cry.
I was gonna cry. 1 time, okay. 2 times, come on, man, you can't do that. 1 time unannounced too. It wasn't even like it was just completely ignored. It wasn't like
that was weird.
They told us, hey,
that was last week. Like you said,
it was last week.
Like 1 time, like it was like some 3 or 4 years ago, but it was like
no,
7 days
ago.
No,
I'm saying them doing it 1 time unannounced like that. Whatever, I can. Chalk it up to whatever.
What are you gonna do if they do it again?
No, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Be upset.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
you're gonna be upset.
I'm not that upset right now. Well, yeah, exactly.
You sound pretty upset.
Yeah. I'll go to the Twitterverse. Not Reddit, just Twitter.
Yeah, stay away. You stay away from Reddit. I'll do the Reddit. You do the not Reddit. Anything else?
Yeah.
Well, before we move on to the next story, like any other things that you want to any predictions?
Any predictions?
Yeah.
It's hard to predict. I don't even know. Like,
what do you think we're going to see? I mean, we have to see.
I want to see how.
Go ahead.
Well, I want to see. I do want to learn how Bolas,
Sparks
got the gem becoming.
Oh yeah.
Well, Sparks and gets gem becoming.
Yeah.
We know he Sparks for sure. We also know he gets the gem, but it never, discloses why. And I also want to know why he wants to kill Ugin. Like, I don't think he has enough. Like.
Yeah, it's not just spite from on the being petty. Like that's not enough. There has to be some sort of event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ugin is still his brother. Like, I understand being spiteful, but I mean, it has to be more than that.
Yeah, I agree. There has to be something more. It can't just be, I don't like you. I don't like your face, and you were mean to me that one time when I was sitting on the mountain, and I invited you to sit with me, and I didn't like it.
Especially since they're brothers, which is like, and from the story, it seems like Bolas okay, I'm mad at you, but you're still my brother. Like, he's always willing to let him into his plan. He's like, okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think he is, but he's certainly saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting how they've the narration for these stories has been interesting.
Yeah, I agree. It's very illuminating, I guess. I feel like a lot of stories have been about Ugin, a lot more than Bolas per se. It's talking about him igniting,
which is weird, isn't it? Like there's been more story about Ugin than Bolas.
There has been, yes.
So I'm not sure what to make of that, because
I'm not either, because it's supposed to be
it's called the Chronicle of Bolas.
Yeah, maybe the last 3 is just all Bolas. I don't know, but so far it's been a lot more about Ugin than Bolas.
Almost entirely, yeah. I mean, Ugin's been the narrator for the vast majority of these stories. Not all of them, but the most of them.
Yes.
Told from his point of view. So I don't know. Yeah, or alternatively, he hasn't been the narrator for any of the stories. And Bolas has been the narrator for all of them. Which I think now that we've seen Bolas we know that he's been on this plane and that he's influenced some of the people, because you see Navia, when she's thinking about Beisha, saying, you could just let her go, and doing the doing the mental manipulation that he practiced, as we've seen the story on Dominaria.
Yep.
Yeah.
But she held on. She's like, no, I was born with her.
Yep.
Dead mother's womb. Came out holding hands together. So she fought. But there's been times too. Navia's been like, my sister gets all this, blah blah blah, and I get nothing.
Yeah, and I think that's been spurned on by Bolas, unbeknownst to us now, but I think we can probably fairly confidently link that back to the fact that we've now seen him on this plane.
And I wonder why he's being so nice to Nivea instead of like just
manipulating
her.
Because he's not necessarily being nice, but he feels like he can use her.
Yeah. But I wonder what he can use it for, or how.
I mean, he can use her to get to Baisha, who's a whisperer, who can maybe find Ugin if he's on Tarkir.
Sure.
There's a lot of little components. Bolas is always like 3 links ahead of where you think he is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Cool.
So we'll see.
Yep.
It's getting really really good now.
It is. The story's been great. Okay. Anything else on Chronicles of Bolas this week?
No, I just can't believe I thought this was entirely in the past. So yeah.
You were Sarkin in the Nexus of Fate.
Oh,
now you flash forward to the present. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that is the most of the show for this week, guys. So we're going to take a quick break. When we return, question of the week, and I'll talk a little bit about Gen Con. Before we get to question of the week, I just want to talk a little bit about Gen Con, because that's where I'm at right now. Again, sitting in my hotel room. Stephen Green sitting quietly on his bed reading a book right now. He's so quiet. He didn't even say anything. You can hear him spanking himself, though, so that's really weird.
That is weird. That's okay,
Gen Con is great. This is my 4th year being here. I love games of all different types, not just Magic. I love board games. I don't get the opportunity to play a lot of board games. There's not too many people in Roanoke that want to do that. So this is always nice to come and play board games with some people. You've been to Gen Con a couple of times too, though, right?
Yeah, twice. The first time I did nothing at Gen Con. I just went there and won U.S. Nationals.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. Just winning Nationals in your first Gen Con.
Right, but I was saying I didn't explore any Gen Con or do anything.
No, you didn't do any Gen Con stuff. So, but we're gonna
the second time. Good.
Well, I was just gonna say we're gonna talk about, if you guys listen to Thinktwice Flashback, which is our little bonus 15 or so minute episode that we release every week. This week is going to be all about Gen Con. So if you want to hear about my experience for this time and games and stuff, and Ollie and I talking about Gen Con, then you should definitely check that out. Okay, so question of the week this week. This is maybe not too surprising, but simply put, which Commander 2018 deck is best?
Saheeli is the best one.
Saheeli's the best one? So blue-red artifacts?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she's the best one as far as power goes. Maybe not so much like brewing-wise, but as far as like strength, Saheeli is just obviously it's just very powerful. The fact that both her abilities just uptick, and they're both great. Then ultimate is obviously insane too.
Well, what about the deck? You're just talking about one card. There's 100 cards in the deck. You just talked about one.
Right, but I still think the Saheeli deck is the best. It also has the lowest cost creatures, which is Tawnos. How you say his name? Tawnos. Yeah. Tawnos is sweet, and so is I like how all the pieces just fit together really well. Like Tawnos fits well, and so does the other legend. I can't say his name either.
Brudiclad? Yeah.
Brudiclad? Yeah.
I do think that the Saheeli deck has
a lot of synergy. It's like a lot of artifact synergy.
Yeah, no doubt. It is the most cohesive of all of the decks.
Yeah.
Although I think the Estrid Band Enchantress deck is very cohesive too. More so, those two are more so cohesive than the other two. But my pick is actually going to be Lord Windgrace's deck, the Jund deck. I think he's the most versatile of all of the different commanders. You can build him around any way you want. He has obviously he has a land theme, but like kind of built into him, but you don't have to be all in on lands to make him good. So it comes with I think that deck has the most interesting components because you can kind of attack from a lot of different angles. It has my favorite card in it, which is Sancha, and Windgrace's Judgment, which is a super sweet card. So it has ultimately my favorite cards. I really like the Gyrus, the Hydra. That card is really sweet too. I don't really like the Spider Thantis, the War Weaver, I believe. But a lot of the other cards are really sweet, so I like that. I like that deck the best. Now, for this week, we're actually going to give people the options of voting on all 4 decks, which is unusual, but I do want to see what the audience believes is the best deck. And I'll put in parentheses like what my pick is and what Ollie's pick is, and there'll just be 2 that are just no one's pick. But yeah, we'll give everybody 4 options this week.
All right, well, it's going to be Saheeli, so...
It could very well be. It could very well be. I don't think there's any that are bad options. I think I like the Esper deck the least, but I don't even know if I believe that.
Okay.
I don't know. I actually like them all. I'm not just trying to sell you guys decks. I do legitimately think they're all really cool. Okay.
Maybe when not too, Will's going to put you back on top of the deck instead. Like, redo. What do you think?
Yeah, could be. Definitely the coolest ultimate with that one. Anyway.
Sure.
Ollie, where can people find you?
Find me at gatheringmagic.com. Articles go up every Friday. Twitter.com/AllYellDrawsy and Twitch.tv/AllYellDrawsy.
You can find me also on Twitter at jparnell1 on Twitter. You can also find me every Wednesday. I'm the host of the Commander Versus series on StarCityGames.com and YouTube. Next week, I'm going to spoil it for just the Thinktwice people. We're playing Commander 2018 decks. The game is great.
Oh,
it's fantastic. So if you did not like John playing Krinko this week and beating all of our faces in, next week will be much better. I promise. So you can also find the show on Twitter at ThinktwiceMTG, and of course thinktwicemtg@gmail.com if you want to send us a more personalized message. And you can find the show on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Google Play Music. Now, of course, if you are listening on a platform that you wish you weren't, let us know what platform you like to be listening on. That's how we've added Stitcher, that's how we've added Google Play Music. Whatever you guys want, we can try to add that as a platform for the show. We just have to know what it is, and we can do so. And if you don't mind, as we said at the top of the show, if you can just leave us a review on any of the platforms that you're listening to, and if you don't want to leave a written review, you can just leave us a 5-star review if you enjoyed the show. And if you're not enjoying the show, then why are you listening? Seriously.
Who knows?
I'm glad you are, but just leave us a 5-star review because you like it clearly. If you made it this far, if you've made it to the outro, just do it as a solid. Anyway.
All right.
You can also support the show by watching us stream on Twitch every once in a while, although it's been sporadical. Twitch.tv/ThinktwiceMTG, and you can support us on Patreon.com/ThinktwiceMTG. We have a lot of great different rewards tiers, including our $1 tier, which gives you early access to the show, as well as access to our Discord channel where we talk about magic and animals and lore and memes sometimes. Not me generally, but other people do. The animals is really the one you want, because there's people posting cute animals on a daily basis. So, speaking
of animals,
Ollie, this is your turn. Discord animal of the week.
Sophie Chanel, the French bulldog.
Sophie Chanel, I like that.
The French bulldog. Yep.
All right, so Sophie Chanel, you are the official Discord animal of the week.
Woo-hoo. Congrats, Sophie.
Yep. If you want your animal to be in the running for Discord Animal of the Week, post adorable pictures of your animal, say their name, in the channel, and there's a good chance we will pick you because we just want to see cute animals. And look, Ollie and I both love dogs, but that's just because most people have dogs. I'm open to selecting other animals if I see other cute animals. And I know Ollie feels the same.
Yes.
Excellent.
Cute animals are the best.
Yeah. There's animals
are just great in general.
They are great. Animals are the best people.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's it. That's the show for this week. We want to give a shout out to our graphic designer, Amber West. You can find her work at amberwestdesign.com. Of course, we want to give a shout out to our director and producer, John Che. You can find all of his great work from minute 00.01 of this podcast to the very end. Because that's what he's doing. He's editing it. And we, of course, want to give a shout out to our Agent of Bolas producers, Daniel Hunt, Matt Lindell, Liam Whelan. Thank you guys very much. As Ollie likes to say,
the true what, Parnell?
Your catchphrase. I don't want to steal your catchphrase.
The true what?
The true MVP.
The true
MVPs.
That's right. Don't forget it.
Don't forget. I won't forget. I never forget.
Okay.
I go to sleep every night. Instead of counting sheep, I just say their names over and over.
Okay.
All right. That's it. That's the show for this week. Ollie, I love you.
Love you too.
We love you guys as well.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening. See you next week.
Peace.